This morning's Bible reading is from Exodus chapter 32, 1 to 14, the golden calf. When the people saw that Moses was so long in coming down from the mountain, they gathered around Aaron and said, "Come, make us gods who will go before us. As for this fellow Moses who brought us up out of Egypt, we don't know what's happened to him." Aaron answered them, "Take off the gold earrings that your wives, your sons, and your daughters are wearing, and bring them to me." So all the people took off their earrings and brought them to Aaron. He took what they handed him and made it into an idol, cast in the shape of a calf, fashioning it with a tool. Then they said, "These are your gods, Israel, who brought you up out of Egypt." When Aaron saw this, he built an altar in front of the calf and announced, "Tomorrow there will be a festival to the Lord." So the next day the people rose up early and sacrificed burnt offerings and presented fellowship offerings. Afterward they sat down to eat and drink and got up to indulge in revelry. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go down, because your people whom you brought up out of Egypt have become corrupt. They have been quick to turn away from what I commanded them, and have made themselves an idol cast in the shape of a calf. They have bowed down to it and sacrificed to it, and have said, 'These are your gods, Israel, who brought you up out of Egypt.' I have seen these people," the Lord said to Moses, "and they are a stiff-necked people. Now leave me alone so that my anger may burn against them and I may destroy them. Then I will make you into a great nation." But Moses sought the favor of the Lord his God. "Lord," he said, "why should your anger burn against your people whom you brought out of Egypt with great power and a mighty hand? Why should the Egyptians say, 'It was with evil intent that he brought them out, to kill them in the mountains and wipe them off the face of the earth'? Turn from your fierce anger. Relent and do not bring disaster on your people. Remember your servants Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, to whom you swore by your own self, 'I will make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, and I will give your descendants all this land I promised them, and it will be their inheritance forever.' Then the Lord relented and did not bring on his people the disaster he had threatened." This is the word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God. Good morning. Lovely to see you all. A lovely day. For today's sermon, I chose one of the Bible texts in the lectionary, the golden calf. This well-known story can be interpreted and preached in some different ways, but I have decided to challenge you with my sermons. Are you ready to be challenged? And the title of this sermon is God Whom We Believe In. God whom we believe in. Have you ever discussed who God is with other people? As you may already acknowledge, people have many different ideas of God. Even Christians have slightly different ideas of God. And one of the ideas of God, which many atheists have, is God does not exist. God is a mere projection of human desires. What does this idea mean? Let me explain. We human beings are mortal, so we desire to become someone who is immortal. We wish for more knowledge and power, so we imagine someone who is omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent. There are many other talents, abilities, wisdom, and strengths that we long to have, but we can't. Therefore, we imagine a supernatural being who has all those characteristics that we long for and call him God. If we imagine that this supernatural being is with us and help us, we feel comfort and we can recover our courage, vitality, and energy. Because of those physical and mental benefits, many people believe in a God who does not exist at all. Is that true? Do we Christians believe in a created God merely for our mental or physical benefits? Absolutely not. Disappointingly, however, that is exactly what occurs to the Israelites in today's Bible text. God's chosen people worship a God whom they created instead of the Creator God. Let me explain the background of today's Bible text. The Israelites are at the foot of Mountain Sinai with disappointment and desperation. They feel that they have lost their great leader Moses. He liberated them from the hands of Egyptians and led them to where they are now. Then Moses climbed Mountain Sinai to meet God face to face. Many days have passed, but he has not come back yet. People are losing their patience. They are not sure when Moses will return. He may not come back at all. The Israelites become restless and anxious. They do not know what to do without Moses. He used to demonstrate God's power and pass them divine message. He was the channel between God and people. People saw God only through Moses. They have no direct access to or relationship with God. Now, Moses has gone, so God has gone too. The people forget all about God and what he has done for them, such as crossing the Red Sea, turning bitter water to sweet, providing manna and quail, and water coming from a rock. The Israelites want someone else who will protect, bless, and lead them right now. So they go to Aaron, Moses' brother and the spokesman, and now they're acting leader. They asked him to make not one God, but many gods for them. They want more suitable gods than the one whom Moses told them about. In response to the people's request, Aaron does not try to convince them to wait longer, and he yields to the public pressure and acts immediately. He tells the people, "Take the gold rings from the ears of your wives and the sons and daughters, and bring them to me." So all the people take the gold rings from their ears and bring them to Aaron. Then Aaron takes the gold, melts it down, and molds it into the shape of a calf. When the people see the golden calf, they become excited and exclaim, "O Israel, these are the gods who brought you out of the land of Egypt. Can you imagine, can you believe that what they say? What a short memory they have. Surprisingly, Aaron responded to the needs of the people further. What a good leader he is. He built an altar. And the next day, the people sacrificed offerings to the golden calf and indulged themselves in pagan revelry. There are lots of wine, food, and dancing in the worship. They have a wonderful time around their new god, the golden calf. In the meantime, Moses receives the law from God on Mount Sinai. And God gives Moses the 10 Commandments tablets. They are so important that God inscribes them with his own fingers on the 2 stone tablets. In the story of the golden calf, the Israelites create a god to meet their needs. The new god, made of gold, is different from God whom they used to worship. This God is tangible. The people could see and touch it, and it looks magnificent. Moreover, this God does not demand anything from them. It does not ask for any ethics or morality. There are no religious rules or regulations. Whatever they do, the new God accepts them and never punishes them. The people can worship and have a good time too. What a marvelous God to believe in. What a fantastic religion it is. Because of these kinds of attractions, many people believe in a God whom they create. But it is committing idolatry. Sadly, however, some Christians want to believe in a God who is like the golden calf. Or they actually make the one true God like the golden calf. They want a God who demands nothing from them, no commitments, no spiritual disciplines, no ethics or morality. They prefer a God who does not ask them to confess or repent their sins. It is because they do not want to be judged or punished for what they think or do. On the other hand, they hope God bless them lavishly whatever they may do. They want to worship a God and have a good time too. They are after relaxation, fun, excitement, and entertainment in worship. Under this kind of need and pressure, some Christian leaders respond like Aaron. They customize the gospel like the golden calf. They only emphasize God's love, grace, mercy, and forgiveness. On the other hand, they avoid presenting God's holiness, righteousness, justice, judgment, and punishment. They try to water down Christian sacrifice, commitment, discipline, ethics, and morality. Interestingly, those leaders are more popular and famous, but they actually follow Aaron's footsteps. Now let us go back to the Bible text. Since the people are excited with the golden calf, Aaron builds an altar and organizes pagan worship. People enjoy the festival worship thoroughly. They are excited and filled with vitality and energy. They feel that they can do whatever they want to do. Nevertheless, they will know the reality when they become sober. Their religious ritual is empty without substance. It makes no difference in people's lives. They will be disappointed and depressed despite their optimism and excitement in worship. They find themselves still in the middle of the wilderness. Their God, the golden calf, is neither the one who brought them out of Egypt, nor the one who is going to lead them to the promised land. Aaron is the acting leader while Moses is away, but he betrays God and misleads his people. He simply tries to satisfy the people's needs. What Aaron and the Israelites do at the foot of Mount Sinai makes the one true God extremely angry. They worship a God whom they create, not the Creator God. Their behavior breaches the 10 Commandments that God already gave them. In Exodus chapter 20, God said these words, "I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God." In today's Bible text, Exodus chapter 32, however, the Israelites makes the golden calf and declares that it brought them out of the land of Egypt. They bow down to it and worship. They commit idolatry. The Israelites' behavior makes the jealous God extremely furious. He's going to destroy all of them. On the mount, Moses hears from God what the people are doing, but he does not get all its full picture. So Moses persuades God not to punish them. Later, Moses comes down from the mount. He sees what his people are doing with his own eyes and becomes as furious as God was. Moses throws the 2 stone 10 Commandment tablets to the ground and smashes them. Then he takes the golden calf and melts it in the fire. And when the metal cools, he grounds it into powder and mixes with water. He makes people drink it. These extreme actions show how much Moses is upset and what a grave sin it is breaching the first and the second commandments. Later, Moses carries out God's harsh punishment to the Israelites. Some atheists insist that we Christians believe in a God whom we create. It is an unacceptable claim. As a matter of fact, it is committing idolatry that makes the one true living God the angriest. Nevertheless, because of our human nature, we are always in danger of believing in and worshiping a God whom we tailor or customize to our own needs. No one is immune to this attraction. Neither you nor I am an exception in this matter. Therefore, let us be very careful not to fall into such a temptation and follow the footsteps of Aaron and the Israelites. Now let me ask you, what kind of God do you believe in? Do you believe in the whole of a God who is revealed in the Old and the New Testaments? Or do you believe in a God whom you have tailored or customized to your own preferences, tastes, or needs? How do you take some of the Bible texts which ask your total commitment to the Lord, your time, money, energy, and all others? Do you take them seriously and try to do your best to follow those tough commandments? Or do you comfortably decide not to follow them and still recognize yourself as a committed Christian and look forward to God's abundant blessings? How about worship? Do you come to worship for relaxation and entertainment? Or do you come to hear God's tough words, to be challenged, to repent, and to be transformed? I leave those questions to you for your honest self-examination in God's presence. As a matter of fact, the Christian life is a lifelong training to believe in and worship the whole of the one true living God who requires of us spiritual disciplines, commitment, sacrifice, ethics, and moralities.